Hello viewers, Natural Grandma, Papa Hank here. Out here in the regenerative world, everybody wants to talk about really improving their forage in order to help with the summer slump, and they talk about seeding down warm season annuals, they talk about seeding down warm season grass, and I just want to make a statement today. And this don't matter whether you're an amp grazer, a management intensive grazer, whether you leave a third, take half, leave half, stomp the third, total graze. Don't really matter how you graze. If you come in here and disturb this soil, you're going to get what you're seeing here. You're going to get warm season annuals that don't cost you anything, because you're going to get horse weeds, pig weeds. It's kind of like water hemp. You're going to get foxtail. And you say, oh, well, that just, it's just going to be for 1 year and it'll be all right. And I seeded this, I think, go back in the videos in 21. I tore this up lightly with a disc, and I did it because we had ruts. We had tractor ruts from years past of unrolling hay down in this part of the world, this part of our farm, because this was really thin soil. The whole farm, this is where the cattle never grazed. It's the farthest away from the old water points. It's where, hay would be baled, everything else, and brought back to the barn to feed for 100 years. I know that because we've been here for 96, 97 years. So I run a disc over this, and I seeded wheat, I think, and turnips and radishes, because I had some of that seed, and I even throwed some wildflowers out here. And my son had some mix from where he'd seeded some CRP that was 5 warm season grasses. So it was Indian, switch, big blue, little blue, and I forget what the other one was. And then we've got some Eastern Gamma from hay that we fed out here. And so I have a wonderful stand of warm season grass coming, and I still have a lot of my cool season. But when you disturb that soil, and then when you bring the cattle back over this in the spring and the fall, because you disturbed your sward, you're going to get some pogging. And when you get pogging, and then right here where this foxtail is, I unrolled some hay, and the bale kind of didn't unroll right, and so there was a little bit of hay residue left here, which is, just carbon excess, excess to more carbon. But this area, has been made really fertile because of running the chickens over it. You see down there in the background is the millennial feather nets where we do the multi-species grazing. They're parked because Papa broke his leg 2 years ago. But this area is fertile now, and if you're fertile, you're going to grow something. Now, this is summer forage. They've topped the warm season grass was the first thing to eat. But now look, she's even eating the seed heads off of that foxtail right there. See how she's doing that? She's eating the seed heads off of the foxtail. Now, this is about the last day they're going to be in here, because they've pretty much got to the top of the giant ragweed, what I call horseweed. They're wooling on they've eat the really good grass is gone. They've removed about half of the cool season grasses. I'll get down in here and show you. That's some fescue there that's been bit off. There's a lot of brome and everything else. And notice how they put the carbon to the ground. There's no danger of overgrazing, and we've got animal impact. We've got hoofs going through it. So we're waking up microbes and earthworms, and this is really good to do to this soil. This is regeneration. I did disturbance with a tillage tool. You can do it with animals. Great disturbance. But I'm going to tell you that for 4 years, it's not going to be pretty, and if you're a new grazer, you're going to say, oh, I ruined my farm. Well, this is going to be a beautiful mix of warm season, cool season. One of these days, there won't be hardly any weeds out here because this will close the sward in. It's going to be a beautiful mix, and it's going to be just what we want. And as long as we keep putting animal impact over it with 80 to 120 day rest periods, doesn't matter where we take it all or take half or what, the warm season grass will thrive. Now, I think if you take it all, unless you're good enough to just really do, 1, 2, 3 days on impact and then get them off, where they just take that first bite, you don't do much back grazing, you may take your warm season too low. You see there's some old rip gut that's native to this field. This was not planted, and of course that's not very desirable this time of year. In the spring those cattle will eat that, but it kind of slices their tongue. But I just wanted to show people that, and our whole farm don't look like this, get that, I mean, but you're going to get diversity if you make disturbance, either with animals, overgrazing and planting some Sudan, or overgrazing, planting pearl millet, overgrazing, planting corn and milo. You're going to get something, but it's not always going to be pretty. You might, it's better if it's on the back side of the road, because your neighbor's going to think you're crazy. We never got to our destination at Marshfield last week with one of our egg cartons. We intended to, but I just want y'all to see what a natural grandma egg carton. My wife took this picture herself. That's a sunset with an Amish girl holding a hen up by our hoop house in the wintertime. Those are God colors. Oh my, I don't know if you can name all them, but that QR code there takes you to a YouTube channel. See, it says, see the hens in the pasture. And so that's what we developed, and that's what we did. We were selling 3,000, well, 100 cases, which there's 180 eggs in a case. So I think that's 18,000 eggs a week is what we was taking to Kansas City. We was gathering 2,100 eggs ourselves, and we were marketing some other people's mobile pasture eggs. But now, it was all a good thing, and we still have our label, and we would love to go back into business doing that, but we don't have the help. We need some young families here that wants to learn regeneration with their kids. We could do it again. But these are 18-month-old and 12-month-old heifers. The 18-month-old ones, some of them could be bred, half of them probably aren't. Like, you get a really mature heifer like that, she probably bred when I exposed her. She's thick and she's doing well, but she might not have, because she's got kind of lower, deeper bodied grass genetics, and they tend to calve at 30 months just naturally. So anyways, so that's what's going on at Natural Grandma.